Good afternoon. In today's lecture, we will discuss in details the supply chain management or SCM. First, let us discuss what is meant by supply chain management. Supply chain management is the management of the flow of goods and services and includes all processes that transform raw materials into final product. It involves the active streamlining of business supply side activities to maximize customer value and gain a competitive advantage in the marketplace. In this lecture, we will provide an overview of SCM systems and their management drivers, identify the complexity and importance of supply chain integration, and understand the different levels of supply chain integration. Explain the supply chain components, processes, and flows. And finally, we will conclude with the impact of the ERP on supply chain management. As brick-and-mortar enterprises increase their web-enabled processes, there is one area where more attention is necessary: the firm's supply chain management. A good supply chain management system can act as a digital nerve center for the entire business and save the company millions of dollars in costs in order fulfillment and other back-end support processes. SCM gives companies involved in developing, manufacturing, distributing, and retailing of products access to all the critical information they need to plan their operations in an efficient way, whatever and wherever they need it. SCM in a large dynamic network of complex but well-defined relationships with several channels in the business, which provides accurate information to everyone in the network, where a whole supply chain management solution includes customers, service providers, and partners. SCM provides companies the flexibility and the agility to be in constant control of business. It also improves efficiencies and reduces costs, while giving companies the adaptability to modify their business processes. Now we will introduce what is meant by supply chain and what is the definition of supply chain management. Supply chain is the network of services, materials, and information flow that link a firm's customer relations, order fulfillment, and supplier relations processes to those of its suppliers and customers. In practice, people tend to use the term value chain and supply chain interchangeably. Supply chain management is a science of developing a strategy to organize, control, and motivate the resources involved in the flow of services and materials within the supply chain. Supply chain management includes the planning and management of all activities involved in sourcing and procurement, conversion, and all logistics management activities. It also includes coordination and collaboration with partners who could be suppliers, intermediaries, third-party services providers, and customers. In summary, supply chain management integrates supply and demand management within the cross-company. SCM is an outgrowth of the value chain concept developed by Michael Porter. A business value chain, according to Porter, consists of a series of processes or activities conducted by the company to add value to the existing product or service and to provide a competitive advantage in the market. These business processes can be grouped into primary or secondary activities depending on the company, business strategy, and relationships with its partners. The focus of supply chain is on improving the efficiency of the primary activities with a better flow of information across different activities and functions, besides linking it with the company's external partners and customers. Supply chain therefore improves the value chain of the firm, where it has a direct impact on the company's bottom line. To achieve competitive advantage, companies need to understand their supply chain and build a strategic alignment where its competitive strategy and supply chain strategy are aligned towards the same objective. Strategic alignment refers to the consistency between the customer priorities that the competitive strategy hopes to satisfy and the supply chain capabilities that the supply chain strategy aims to build.
So, a good supply chain management can guarantee the agility and flexibility needed in today's web-enabled competitive environment. As companies struggle to focus on core capabilities and to become more flexible, they have reduced their ownership of raw materials sources and distribution channels. These functions are gradually being outsourced to other companies that can perform these activities better or more cost-effective. The consequences of outsourced activities are an increase in the number of companies involved in satisfying customers' demands, while there is a reduction in management control of daily logistical operations. Such reduction in control and the involvement of new supply chain partners create a challenge for the SCM, as we will see in the next example. In the example of Toys R Us Corporation, Toys R Us failed when it first entered the e-commerce market in 1998. Their website got massive attention from the end users during the Christmas season in 1998, and thousands of users placed online orders for toys to be delivered as a gift before December 25th. At that time, Toys R Us did not have a proper supply chain system in place to fulfill the number of orders they received. So it was not able to deliver the toys on time before Christmas Day, which became a major embarrassment for Toys R Us because they made a lot of their customers angry and dissatisfied. At the end, Toys R Us had to discontinue its business strategy of selling toys online on its own website and created a partnership with Amazon.com, which did not work effectively. Toys R Us promised to keep the toys coming, and Amazon was pleased to remain exclusive to Toys R Us when it came to toys. The partnership included ToysRUs.com redirecting all traffic directly to Amazon website as the exclusive toys retailer. But as the years passed, Toys R Us was squeezed by marketplace changes known as the Amazon effect. Toys R Us made a mistake placing its trust on Amazon, as in 2003, Amazon began selling toys from others and violating the exclusivity agreement between the two companies, and followed up the complaints with a court case in 2004 seeking $74 million in damages. Toys R Us finally won the case and launched its own website in 2006. So, to join the next generation, Toys R Us would need to start by digging into its customer segments and gaining a deep understanding of how different clients interact with the brand in different ways. Once Toys R Us is equipped with those detailed insights, it can leverage data analytics to create personalized shopping experiences and expect customer needs based on previous interactions, making for a seamless e-commerce experience that doesn't just drive sales but also build customer loyalty. So what challenges were faced by Toys R Us? Among the challenges faced by Toys R Us were providing a successful supply chain in an omnichannel environment. So retailers that want to succeed where Toys R Us failed must adjust the effect of misunderstanding the nature of omnichannel shopping environments. Such shopping environment integrates the different methods of shopping available to consumers, like online, in physical store, or by phone. So retailers must not only offer online shopping, but they also should have the ability to plan, track, and fulfill orders in real time to offer customers options like in-store pickup. The second challenge of Toys R Us was making data useful. Today, most retailers use technologies like order tracking and inventory marketing. So to function as an efficient distribution center, companies also need system-wide inventory visibility and deep planning capabilities. Retailers need to know what will be effective with customers, using data to identify consumer behavior and advanced planning models to create accurate forecasts. The last challenge is the power of an accurate forecast. The demands are always unpredictable, which means that retailers must be able to respond to changes and adjust buying plans and inventory in real time. In such unpredictable, demanding environment, the store-level plans need to be connected with overall demand and supply planning. To be prepared for demanding changes, retailers need range-based forecasting, in which history-based forecast is considered a key driver for the demand and supply planning. Range-based forecast assumes that demand will always be unpredictable and retailers are prepared and ready to respond with the right strategies whether demand is above plan or below. This type of planning also need to be aligned to financial planning and analysis in real time to understand them and maximize profit in every scenario. Another critical aspect of responding to the omnichannel environment implementation of fast and flexible inventory management practices, where one of the downfalls of Toys R Us was empty shelves caused by an inaccurate in-stock measurement. With a connected planning platform, retailers collect data from all sources in one place, which gives them visibility into demand patterns plus a real-time pulse on what's happening at the point of sale. Connecting data across business units, including suppliers, marketing, sales, operations, and finance, in one place allows retailers to respond to change quickly in a way that maximizes profits. Toys R Us tried to respond to a challenged marketplace, but the actions they took were too little and too late. In summary, connected planning is the key of understanding supply chain management. With deep planning and analytics capabilities, retailers can compete and win in fast-changing marketplace. More accurate information from supply chain management systems reduces uncertainty and the impact of the bullwhip effect that occurs when slight inconsistent demand is magnified as information moves upstream. With perfect information about demand and production, a firm can implement an effective just-in-time strategy for delivering goods in the right amount and as they are needed. The purpose of SCM is to improve trust and collaboration among supply chain partners and to integrate the processes to a good system, and so improving supply chain responsiveness and efficiency, as we will see in the next figure. Moving up the supply chain from end consumer to raw material suppliers, each supply chain participant has greater observed variation in demand, leading to greater need for safety stock. In times of rising demand, downstream participants will increase their orders, while in times of falling demands, orders will drop or stop in order to reduce inventory. As we see in the figure of collaboration in supply chain information, the marketing, distribution, planning, manufacturing, and purchasing departments typically operate independently in organizations. These departments have their own objectives, which are frequently incompatible to a certain degree. Purchasing contracts are often negotiated with very little information beyond historical buying patterns. The result of these factors is that there is not a single integrated plan for the organization. There is clearly a need for a mechanism through which these different plans of back and front end offices can be integrated Supply chain management is a strategy through which such integration can be achieved, where all functions that are part of a company contribute to its success or failure. These functions do not operate in isolation, as none of these functions can ensure the supply chain success. Then the failure of any function may lead to the failure of the overall chain. Therefore, a company's success or failure is linked to the several key perspectives, such as the competitive and functional strategies. All these strategies must fit together to form a match overall strategy, where each functional strategy must support other functional strategies and help the company to reach its competitive strategy goal. The different functions in a company must structure their processes and resources to be able to execute these strategies successfully. From supply chain point of view, to achieve a strategic fit, a company must ensure that its supply chain capabilities support its abilities to understand and then satisfy the targeted customer segments, where the gap analysis will help in defining the desired cost and service requirements and identifying the impact of a disruption or delay in the supply chain. Moreover, the uncertainty the supply chain results in failure to satisfying these needs. Also, the company needs to understand the features of its supply chain system, because there are many types of supply chains where each one is designed to perform different tasks. So if there is a mismatch between the supply chain outcomes and the desired customer needs, the company will either restructure its competitive strategy or alter its supply chain strategy, as seen in the case of Walmart, as it promotes the use of radio frequency identification or RFID technology to its suppliers and partners, which will be discussed later in this lecture. In this figure, we will see the Walmart vendor managed inventory, where vendor managed inventory is the first step towards supply chain collaboration to increase speed, reduce errors, and improve services. Vendor managed inventory, or VMI, is a business model where the buyer of a product provides information to a vendor of that product, and the vendor takes full responsibility for maintaining an agreed inventory of the material, usually at the buyer consumption location. For example, by utilizing the advantage of modern communication technology, Walmart shares the data of its information system with the suppliers, who then can monitor the current amount of goods and the rate they are being sold. Based on this information, the suppliers themselves can figure when Walmart will need to stock up the inventory and send the delivery for this reason. For companies, achieving strategic fit simply means achieving the balance between supply chain responsiveness and efficiency in its supply chain to match the needs of the company's competitive strategy. To understand how a company can improve supply chain performance in terms of responsiveness and efficiency, we must examine the four key drivers of supply chain, which are facilities, inventory, transportation, and information. Facilities are the places in the supply chain network where products is manufactured, stored, or transshipped. The two major types of facilities are production sites or plants and the storage sites or warehouses. Whatever the function of these facilities, decisions regarding locations, capacity, and flexibility of facilities have a significant impact on the supply chain performance. For a certain company, it needs to decide how many suppliers, manufacturing facilities, distribution centers, and warehouses to have, and where these facilities should be located, along with where the market is for its products regarding the customers. The decision on facility directly affects the company's inbound and outbound transportation cost, reaction to the market, and inventory level. Information consists of data and analysis concerning facilities, inventory, transportation, and customers throughout the supply chain. Information could be overlooked as a major supply chain driver because it doesn't have a physical presence. However, information is the biggest driver of the performance in the supply chain because it directly affects each of the other drivers. Information presents management with the opportunity to make supply chain more responsive and efficient, and serves as the connection between the supply chain's different stages. Information is also important for the daily operations of each stage. For example, a production scheduling system uses information on demand to create a schedule that allows a factory to produce the right products in an efficient way. A warehouse management system uses information to create visibility of the warehouse's inventory, and the company can then use this information to decide whether new orders can be filled. Inventory is the raw materials, work in process, and finished products. It's considered an important supply chain driver because changing inventory policies can alter the supply chain's efficiency and responsiveness. For example, to deal with the high demand of a product during the holiday season, manufacturers can stock large amounts of inventory to minimize products that are out of stock. A successful inventory management policy is to achieve the right balance. Transportation moves the product between different stages in the supply chain. Like the other drivers, transportation has a large impact on both responsiveness and efficiency. The type of transportation a company uses also affects the inventory and facility locations in the supply chain. One view of the supply chain is to see the supply chain as a network carrying different flows to satisfy the customer's demand. Supply chain management includes managing and integrating these flows within the company. Supply chain management flows can be divided into three main categories: product flow, information flow, and finance flow. Coordination between the different players in the chain is the key in its effective management. The goal of any effective supply chain management system is to achieve the system's efficiency and respond to customer demand on time. The supply chain management flows shown in the figure can be divided into product flow in the middle of the figure, information flow, and finance flow. The product flow includes the movement of products from a supplier to a customer, along with any customer returns or service needs. The information flow involves transmitting orders and updating the status of delivery. Finally, the financial flow consists of credit terms, payment schedules, and shipment agreements, as will be shown in the next example. This figure illustrates the major entities in Nike's supply chain and the flow of information upstream and downstream to coordinate the business activities. Supply chain could be classified into two parts. The first is the upstream part that contains suppliers and the processes for managing relationships between them, while downstream portion consists of organizations and processes for distributing and delivering products to the final customers. In recent times, numbers of companies that are using the internet and web-based applications as part of their SCM solutions have been enlarged. Several websites offer procurement marketplaces where manufacturers can trade and even make auction bids with suppliers. There are two main types of supply chain management software, including planning applications and execution applications. The planning applications use advanced algorithms to define the best way to fill an order, where the execution application tracks the physical position of the product, the management of materials, and financial information involving all parties. Some SCM applications are based on an open data models that support the sharing of data both inside and outside the company, which is called the extended enterprise and includes key suppliers, manufacturers, and end consumers. These shared data may exist in different database systems or a data warehouse at several different sites and companies. By sharing these data upstream with the company's suppliers and downstream with the company's clients, SCM applications have the potential to improve the time to market of products, reduce costs, and allow parties in the supply chain to manage current resources and plans for future needs. Supply chain management applications are developed using several scalable enterprise-level technologies as electronic data interchange and extensible markup languages. Now let's see an example of extended enterprises. This example shows the extended enterprise associated with McDonald's. Some supply chain management applications are based on open data models that support the sharing of data both inside and outside the enterprise to improve the time to market of products, reduce cost, and allow all parties in the supply chain to better manage current resources and plan for future needs. These open data models may include franchises, joint venture partners of McDonald's Corporation, third-party logistics that provide food and materials to McDonald's, advertising agencies that produce and distribute McDonald's advertising, suppliers of McDonald's food ingredients, kitchen equipment, building services, utilities and other goods and services, and the designers of Happy Meal toys and others. Supply chain management involves many processes and procedures for efficient chain management. For example, procurement is the business-to-business purchase and sales of suppliers and services. Companies develop strategic plans with suppliers to support the manufacturing flow management process and development of new products. The desired outcome is a win-win situation where both companies benefit and reduction times in the design cycle and product development are achieved. An important part of many business-to-business initiatives, E-Procurement website allow qualified and registered users to look for buyers and sellers of products and services and may specify prices or invite bids. The second process is outsourcing and partnership. In outsourcing is an arrangement in which one company provides services for another that could also be done or have been provided in-house. Outsourcing is common in IT and other industries of services. The benefit is that the company will focus on those activities in the value chain where it has a distinctive advantage and let everything else be outsourced. This is mainly seen in logistics where the providing of transportation, warehousing, and inventory control is increasingly subcontracted to specialized or logistics partners. The manufacturing process in the manufacturing flow management is to produce and supply products to the distribution channels based on past forecasts or point of sales. Manufacturing process must be flexible to respond to market changes, and they must accommodate mass customization. Orders are processed on a just-in-time basis in minimum lot sizes. Changes in the manufacturing flow process also lead to shorter cycle time, which means improved responsiveness and efficiency of demand to customers and activities related to planning, scheduling, and supporting manufacturing operations, such as work in process storage, handling transportation, and time phasing of components. Order fulfillment is a process that responds to customer demand by merging several important functions as order management, storage, and delivery of finished products. It also involves the warehouse and inventory management and physical distribution. Warehouse execution may involve final assembly and packaging of products. For better customer response, the benefits of this practice include more efficient inventory management, order entry, warehousing, and transportation management, and an optimizing end-to-end order fulfillment process. Physical distribution concerns the movement of finished products or services to customers, where the customer is the final destination of a marketing channel, and the availability of the product or service is a vital part of each channel participant's marketing effort. Also, using the physical distribution process, that the time and space of customer service became an integral part of marketing, therefore it links a marketing channel with its customers. Customer service management process provides the source of customer information. It also provides the customer with real-time information on promising dates and product availability through interfaces with the company's production and distribution operations. In retail industry, product return is a big issue, and it contributes to the name closed-loop supply chain because some of the products will return to the origin of the manufacturing facility due to imperfection or some other issues. Finally, forecasting is a critical part of the supply chain management. Forecasting tries to predict levels of weekly or monthly product activity over a time horizon. It is also used to increase availability of products. Forecast systems are used to increase agility. Companies can merge demands from multiple business units, reduce forecasting cycle times from weeks to days, and to the same time increase forecasting accuracy, thereby eliminating excess inventory and ensuring that materials is on hand for scheduled production. A failure to associate the forecasting information along the supply chain will result in bullwhip effect, which is an observed aspect in the forecast-driven distribution channels. However, for the reason that forecast errors usually happen, companies often carry an inventory buffer called safety stock. Supply chain management is fast-growing. Brick-and-mortar companies are adding e-commerce capabilities, which leads to facing new challenges such as delivery of products. A web-enabled supply chain management, or ESCM, solution is the digital nerve center of the entire business. An effective ESCM solution can save companies millions of dollars in costs because it is the optimal combination of technology and business processes that improves delivery of products, services, and information from the supplier to the customer in an organized and efficient way. A complete supply chain management solution also includes customers, service providers, and partners. The creation of an integrated e-supply chain solution will be a major key to provide a critical edge over competitors, to speed time to market, improves order fulfillment, customer service and satisfaction, order management, decision-making, forecasting, demand planning, warehouse and distribution activities, reduces paperwork, reduces inventory buildup, shortens sales cycle, and strengthens partnerships. The traditional concept of supply chain management is no longer valid in the digital economy. ESCM focus on globalization and information management tools, which integrate procurement, operations, and logistics from raw materials to customer satisfaction. With the widespread implementation and acceptance of e-business, the traditional methods and rules have changed to improve the profit of the business. ESCM can use e-business concepts and web technologies to manage inventory and information beyond the organization, both upstream and downstream. It is a strategic approach that ties all steps in the business cycle, from initial product design and the procurement of raw materials through production, shipping, distribution, and warehousing until a finished product is delivered to a customer. Companies with a network of suppliers, vendors, and distributors need a fast and efficient way to spread information and enable two-way communications. To achieve these advantages, ESCM contains the following components: Replenishment Systems, E-Procurement, Collaborative Planning, Collaborative Design and Product Development, E-Logistics, and Supply Webs or Exchanges. These components will be discussed next. Supply Chain Replenishment Systems include the integrated production and distribution processes. For example, CVS, a well-known drugstore chain, completely relies on its ESCM system to reduce inventory levels and to eliminate stocking points. CVS has 9 main warehouse facilities and 15 satellite facilities. These warehouses are placed in central locations around all the stores. As a purchase is made at CVS, the register captures the inventory replenishment needed through a barcode on the product. At the end of each day, the managers review the daily POS report and uses this report as a guide to place the order to replenish the stock that was purchased that day. All the stores report the amount of new stock needed for the next day to their chosen warehouse. A delivery will be made the following morning to replace the exact number of products ordered. If the store needed 5 bottles of any available in stock product, then the store would be delivered 5 bottles of that product. The entire process will happen again at the end of each day. CVS does have the ability to automate this process. As we see in this example of Walmart's replenishment systems, where the cycle takes no more than 48 hours from customer placing an order till the store restocks the shelves with products. Using the retail link, a real-time point of sale POS data transmission, the customer made a purchase. Point of sale system captures data in real time. This data takes 2 passes. The first, data is transmitted to warehouses for inventory management, where orders are generated from previous day sales. Products is loaded into trucks using cross-docking. Then these products is delivered to stores and the store restock the shelves with the products. The other pass is using the retail link transmits data to supplier. Products is manufactured based on historical and real-time data. The product is shipped to the warehouse where the product is loaded into trucks using cross-docking and delivered to the stores to restock them on shelves again. E-procurement, the use of web-based technology to support the key procurement processes, including requests, sourcing, contracting, ordering, and payment. The use of e-procurement had many benefits. With the use of this system, companies can monitor and regulate buying behavior, consolidate orders to reduce product cost, eliminate maverick purchases, improve payment processes, and reduce cycle time and administrative process fees. 2 popular examples are SAP Ariba, which is a software product that offers procurement solutions, and Dell, a well-known online computer sales company, has written the book On Front and Made to Order on-time delivery of computers. In this slide, we will discuss SAP Ariba, a management solutions where customers can digitalize and simplify all their processes end-to-end on a single integrated platform on the cloud. SAP Ariba provides solutions for buyers and suppliers from more than 4.6 million large, mid-size, and growing companies operating in more than 190 countries. From the most famous examples of Ariba software, is the Deutsche Bahn, which is transforming procurement to provide international supply chain sustainability through establishing an easy process to remove complexity from procurement systems by creating one source for purchasing activity, enabling a guided buying capabilities, secure a global network of potential suppliers, implement risk management, convert invoices and orders to one-touch electronic invoices, achieve the vision of moving to a cloud-based procurement system, and finally bring the company's three-pillar strategy of economic stability, staff satisfaction, and ecological sustainability to their procurement process. The second example is the digitalized procurement that helps Coca-Cola lead in beverage sales while generating social and economic value by linking country and facility-based procurement functions into one centralized digitalized platform, fast and smooth integration with existing SAP solutions, efficient negotiations and purchasing functions, reliable, flexible, and standardized procurement process for internal customers, easy access to suppliers and related data and insights for managers, resulting in better budget control and fewer cost overruns, and finally, high adoption rate of 80 to 90% in less than 1 year. Collaborative planning involves a shared forecast between business partners. These partners all have real-time access to POS information. The goal of collaborative planning is to match production plans and production flow, in that way optimizing resources utilization. Because collaborative planning involves input from many partners across different companies, unification is difficult. Rules and deadlines need to be put in place, and the manager must supervise the entire process for collaborative planning to be efficient. For example, the Jam Group is a manufacturing company based in USA. They have collaborated with their customer, which is Timberland, to produce t-shirts. Timberland has installed an instance of a retailer application at Jam's Group site. That retail application is in turn closely integrated into Jam Group's ERP system. This way, both companies have real-time information about their order status, advanced shipping notice, invoices, and other activities. In this slide, we will see another example between Toyota and the supplier of spare parts using the technology of two-tier integration. The supplier organization and the level of responsibility is divided into two tiers. The suppliers of an in-depth relationship to Toyota in the first tier, and suppliers that produce individual parts in the second tier. The sales cooperation includes product development teams, cross-sharing of personnel, refined communication channels between Toyota and suppliers, and between suppliers and partners, build up and training of suppliers, focus a long-term relationship with suppliers and partners. The advantages gained by Toyota are the integrated systems, a high quality of product delivered, shared development cost, so the cost is reduced, the secured supply channels of communication, and high influence on suppliers. While the advantages gained by suppliers are cost reduction, constant orders, know-how transfer, shared development costs, shared financing, and being not easily replaceable from Toyota. Collaborative design and product development between parties in the supply chain are important when product design and reducing the time to get the product to the market are the goals. With online collaboration, all parties, including engineering, suppliers, marketing, and even customers, can get involved in the product development before the first dollar is spent. For example, In the early 1990s, General Motors spent 4 years taking a car to market. However, when the car would land on the showroom floor, it was already old-fashioned. Now, let us discuss a success story that overcomes such drawbacks. The joint venture between Ford and Volkswagen for collaborative design and product development includes the setup of a completely new company, which is legally independent. Both Volkswagen and Ford give identical resources for development and production of the new founded joint venture, with the aim to cut down costs. The result of this joint venture was Volkswagen Charan and Ford Galaxy. The Council of Logistics Management defines logistics as the part of the supply chain process that plans, implements, and controls the efficient and effective flow and storage of products, services, and related information from the point of origin to the point of consumption in order to meet customers' requirements. So e-logistics is applying the concept of logistics electronically to those aspects of business conducted using the internet. In today's world, most companies outsource the handling of e-logistics, such as Amazon has several partnerships with almost all big delivery companies, such as FedEx and UPS, where it's much easier and cost-effective to plug into FedEx infrastructure than to hire a logistics department and purchase the expensive equipment that would be required to maintain e-logistics. The downside for Amazon is loss of control. So if a customer of Amazon does not get their packages as promised on a certain day, that customer will be calling Amazon and not FedEx. Online buyers today want to purchase a product online and then track that package until it arrives to their doorstep. That raises the driving need for e-logistics regarding the higher expectations of today's buyers. Online customers will not tolerate partial orders, back orders, or insufficient return policies. Traditional delivery of large bulk or stocking items to a single known locations has changed. Now many small packages are being delivered to many unknown locations based on demand, price, and accessibility. As mentioned before, supply webs, and also known as exchange, is a virtual location where buyers and sellers can meet and negotiate products, prices, and quantity. Back in early 2001, Forrester Research recorded more than 2,500 exchanges worldwide. Within a few years, more than 50% of the exchange have gone out of business due to the lack of customers or lack of cash. A few success stories exist, such as ChemConnect, which is an online chemical exchange that has been around since 1999. Now they are part of Intercontinental Exchange and provide exchange services to several large companies worldwide. So how does the exchange work for ChemConnect? One of the ChemConnect's 9,000 members may hold a reverse auction. In a reverse auction, Company X will post a request that it will purchase 10 tons of a certain asset for $1 million. Suppliers will bet against each other to sell Company X the asset requested. In the end of the reverse auction, Company X buys 10 tons of asset from supplier Y for only $900,000, which is $100,000 less than the original bid. As a result of the competitive bidding process via the reverse auction, the benefit is that the entire reverse auction process only took 30 minutes. In the past, Company X would have to call on suppliers around the world to see if they had the amount needed from the asset and the price of this amount, and then start negotiating the price they want to pay, and could take months or weeks to complete such transaction. ERP and SCM today are commonly integrated in most companies. ERP focus is on providing an integrated transaction processing that enhances organizational performance by increasing information consistency and transaction efficiency, while SCM, on the other hand, are aimed at providing a higher level of business planning and decision support functionality for effective coordination and execution of inter-organizational business processes. As these two systems have matured, their capabilities are beginning to overlap based on normal product enhancements as well as due to business acquisition and mergers. There is therefore a surge of integrated SCM ERP solutions available in the market. ERP was traditionally not considered for SCM. As a result, the information flow between different members of the supply chain was slow. This was because until the late 1990s, the focus of organizations was on improving the internal efficiency alone. ERP systems therefore supported only internal organization functions instead of inter-organizational supply chain functions, including all the partners of the business. Soon the organizations realized that internal efficiency is important, but its benefits would be limited unless they were complemented by increased efficiency across the supply chain. They also understood that seamless flow of real-time information across the supply chain was the key to success in the developing market scenario, which was characterized by great advancement of technology, shorter product life cycle, and much more activities. Organizations therefore started integrating ERP applications with SCM software. This ensured that the efficiency was achieved across the supply chain and there is a seamless flow of information. So ERP became a vital link in the integrated supply chain as it served as the integrated planning and control system. In simple words, straightforward way, ERP applications help in effective SCM usage in two different ways. The first is the data sharing. They can create opportunities to share data across SCM, which can help managers to make better decisions. They also provide managers with a wide scope of the supply chain by making much far-reaching information available. The second is the real-time information, where ERP systems can provide real-time information which can be a great help in supply chain decisions. For example, ordering raw materials can be based on inventory details provided by the ERP system. The differences between ERP systems and SCM systems has been subject to intensive consideration from vendors. One of the reasons is that ERP vendors are adding more SCM functionality to their products and vice versa. With this wide range of functionalities in the two systems, the differences between them have been very confusing. For example, major ERP vendors are introducing advanced planning and optimization as an integrated component, which is also a component in SCM systems. This table highlights the key differences between ERP and SCM systems. The complexity of ERP systems is high relative to the SCM systems. The functionality of ERP systems are relatively less dynamic because they are mainly concerned with transaction processing speed and capacity, while SCM systems contains dynamic functionality because it performs simulations of transactions adjustments regarding the constraints in real time. Also, the processing speed in ERP systems is lower relative to the fast processing speed of SCM systems. Integration is a wide concept that was discussed earlier in Lecture 2. Here we will discuss the integration issues involved in supply chain, ERP systems, and the integration of enterprise applications. All of these are critical to the success of supply chain. In supply chain integration, and over the past decade, a combination of economic, technological, and market forces have compelled companies to examine and reinvent their supply chain strategies. Some of these forces include the globalization of businesses, the increase of product variety, the growing complexity of supply networks, and the reduction of the product life cycle. To stay competitive, tolerant companies have struggled to achieve greater coordination and collaboration between supply chain partners in an approach known as supply chain integration. There are 4 key dimensions in which the impact of the integration of supply chain can be found. The major elements and benefits of these dimensions will be discussed next. Information integration refers to the sharing of information between members of the supply chain. This includes any type of data that could influence the actions and performance of other members of the supply chain, such as demand data, inventory status, capacity plans, production schedules, promotion plans, and shipment schedules. Such information ideally can be accessible by the appropriate partners on a real-time, online basis without any significant effort. Planning synchronization refers to the joint design and execution of plans for product introduction, replenishment, and forecasting. So planning synchronization defines what is to be done with the information that is shared. It is the mutual agreement among members as to specific actions based on that information. So a member in a supply chain could have coordinated order fulfillment plans so that all replenishments are made to meet the same objective, the ultimate customer demands. Workflow coordination refers to streamlined and automated workflow activities between supply chain partners. Here, integration means what we could do with shared information as well as how. For example, procurement activities from a producer to a supplier can be strongly coupled so that efficiencies in terms of accuracy, time, and cost can be achieved. Product development activities involving several companies can also be integrated to achieve similar efficiencies. In the best case situation, supply chain partners can rely on technology solutions actually to automate many or all of internal and cross-company workflow steps. Adopting e-business approaches to supply chain integration promises more than just incremental improvements in efficiency. Many companies are discovering entire new approaches for conducting businesses and even new business opportunities that were not previously possible. E-business allows partners to redefine logistics flows so that the roles and responsibilities of members may change to improve overall supply chain efficiency. A supply chain network may jointly create new products, track mass customization, and penetrate new markets and customer segments. New rules of supply chain game can emerge as a result of integration driven by the internet. ERP systems offer remarkable benefits by integrating functions across the organization. They help in automating the business process and supporting reliable information capture and retrieval. SCM systems offer capabilities to integrate different entities that make up the supply chain and enable the seamless flow of information between all the supply chain partners. Given the intra-organizational and inter-organizational advantages offered by both ERP and SCM systems, such integration can help in driving huge leverage. However, integrating both systems is a very tough task because each member in supply chain may have different hardware and software, and it's very difficult to insist that your supply chain partners maintain the same systems. It would be ideal if all involved parties could agree with accepting open standards. This would help in streamlining integration. Here are some of approaches of integration. If the two companies want to integrate on the infrastructure level and they have the ERP system installed, then the process would be to have the ERP system of the supply chain partners interlinked to each other directly to enable a seamless flow of real-time information. This might be possible when the ERP systems are flexible enough to include the needed functionality to support SCM. This is also known as inter-enterprise integration. If all systems use the same operating platform or the same vendor's product, then the integration of the system would be easy. If they are different, the necessary middleware software would have to be developed to enable connectivity and integration of the different systems to invent a consistent and seamless information flow. If the integration of supply chain is achieved by linking the ERP and SCM systems, then this integration could be viewed as a way to benefit from the powers of the two systems. For this purpose, advanced middleware interface software are used to help in building up the linkage between the two systems, especially at the points that include overlapping features to support sharing of data and processes. Now we will discuss an example of P&G, and the pre-scenario contains bullwhip effect. The concept appeared when the logistics executives of P&G examined the order patterns for one of their best-selling products, Pampers. Its sales at retail stores were varied, but that variation was not extreme. However, as they examined the distributors' orders, the executives were surprised by inconsistency. When they looked at P&G's orders of materials to their suppliers, such as 3M, they discovered that the swings were even greater. That variation did not make sense as the consumers, in this case the babies, consumed diapers at a steady rate. The demand-order inconsistency in the supply chain was enlarged as they moved up the supply chain. This phenomenon is called the bullwhip effect. So what were the causes of that problem? First, the demand forecast updating, where product forecasting based on the customer's order history, order batching based on the frequency and size of orders, price variation occur when price for a certain product is allowed to change, and finally, rationing and shortage gaming, when shortage occur to a product leading its customers to order other products until they have the products they want. Now we will see how P&G solved the bullwhip effect problem. P&G built a shared long-term business partnership with Walmart through total information sharing to serve the mutual customer. The problem faced this integration includes adversarial conflict, where P&G was too complex and inflexible, as it had 12 internal divisions, so Walmart found it difficult to do business with. Transactional issues focus on day-to-day sales, no long-term planning, and no customer needs identification. And finally, fragmented issues where no information sharing and activities are limited to buying and selling functions, and the no dedicated team of P&G for Walmart. P&G and Walmart found a way to leverage on information technology by sharing data across their mutual supply chains. The resulting channel has become more efficient because channel activities are better coordinated. The main advantage was the reduced need for inventories and greater returns by focusing on selling what the customers want. In other words, the supply chain between P&G and Walmart has adopted a much better customer focus through the channel partnership. This integration of supply chain information system will become gradually more important for both enhancing business-to-business electronic commerce and for supporting the increasing volume and customization in business-to-consumer electronic commerce. The uniqueness of P&G and Walmart partnership covers better inter-organizational information sharing through the technology used for that network partnership, such as joint scorecards, POS data sharing to understand consumer-driven sales data to support cost-cutting through automation. The uniqueness of that partnership also includes category management, continuous replenishment, process coordination, electronic data interchange, and collaborative planning forecasting. As we see in this figure, P&G was electronically linked into Walmart's system, so its systems knew when every individual product left Walmart stores. It was able to ship replenishments to Walmart distribution centers, perfectly timed to go dock to dock from P&G trucks to the trucks going out to stores. The benefits of that data delivery highway between Walmart data and P&G data includes improved responsiveness to consumer demand, greater forecast accuracy with a single shared forecast, increase in sales, cost reduction, improved relationship between the trading partners, and inventory reduction. Enterprise application integration controls the flow of information and ties transactions among different and complex applications and business processes within the organization. With the move towards market globalization, there have been mergers and acquisitions at the phenomenal pace. Enterprise application integration has become an essential component of an organization to share data and business logic with its business partners within the supply chain. As IT aims to provide companies with a competitive edge, several factors can slow down its effectiveness. The move from the traditional brick-and-mortar operations to more sophisticated processes, along with the impact of mergers and acquisitions, make it a necessity to respond to the ever-changing market demands. Application integration has become essential for a company's success in today's economy. A standard EAI system provides a broad range of services that range from security management to protocol management to data mapping, among other related functions. These services define the functionality and flow of data in the application, where enterprise application integration solutions can benefit an organization by providing end-to-end visibility and control of business operations. This control improves interactions with partners and customers, increases responsiveness to business changes, enables new market opportunities, and makes captured knowledge more widely available. There are several phases of an enterprise application integration process, including the following: solution outline phase, architecture phase, design phase, and implementation phase. The end result of this process is a consolidated, consistent, and coherent view of the vital information that's accessible from multiple points across the enterprise. Enterprise application integration provides advantages through unifying unrelated applications, reducing redundant data entry, merging diverse data sets, and reducing transaction costs. EAI proves beneficial to business for a number of reasons, such as increased efficiency through the ability to automate business processes across the enterprise and cross existing boundaries, value of information, where redundant databases are aligned, eliminating duplicate data, lower cost, where the EAI strategy is to create one interface per application. This lowers the cost of upgrades or modifications or any additions to applications. Increased productivity results from business process automation and access to real-time information. Improved customer service, where customer service employees have improved real-time access to give accurate information to customers. And finally, enhanced access, where EAI increases the ability to extend applications to more users from anywhere and anytime over the virtual private network. The integration of applications is compelled by the internet and the need to connect inter-organizational systems with customers, suppliers, collaborators, and partners of all sorts within the supply chain. Here we will discuss how radio frequency identification, or RFID, relates to ERP implementation, data accuracy, supply chain management, report structuring, and business process re-engineering. Radio frequency identification is a small microchip, or tag as it's commonly referred to, that sends and receives data using radio waves sent on specific frequencies. Current RFID tags are less than half the size of a Tic Tac. The tags contain electronically stored information, depending on the type of the RFID, having a read range between a few centimeters to over 20 plus meters. One of the most world's leading users of RFID technology is Walmart. That is the primary reason why this technology is beginning to realize its real value. The system of RFID tags are very simple but effective for large businesses such as Walmart and P&G. RFID tags consists of two main parts, the reader and the tag. The tags are what shall be placed on your overflowing products, which will ensure security, organization within your distributions, and control robberies from happening to your business. RFID has capabilities to speed updates information from a sales floor inventory to a CEO reports in a matter of seconds. From detecting product reduction in real time to restocking shelves, the options for this technology are endless. Many companies have already begun to implement RFID into their corporate structure. However, with the technology still being in its development stage, the result would be an endless options for this technology. RFID is very complicated and costly technology that will increase the initial challenge and cost of a successful ERP implementation. If an organization decides RFID as a technology they wish to explore, this will help narrow the field of optional vendors in which they began their ERP purchase search. Both hardware and software must be considered. Hardware, although the technology has been around over 30 years, there are no off-the-shelf hardware packages. Each hardware implementation will need to be designed especially to meet the needs of the purchaser. Choosing a vendor with extensive RFID experience would be a critical choice to the success of the ERP. Tags range from passive to active, single unique identifier to writable, and come in sizes and shapes ranging from the tiny and round to the big and flat. Tag readers can be mounted anywhere depending on the reader and tag. They can read at distance of up to 300 feet. Unlike the hardware, software will be much easier to design. There are even cases where a near vanilla implementation would be sufficient. This would be great cost saving if possible. RFID, as far as the ERP is connected, will be just another interface device. With a human doing the operational steps of collecting and entering data, you have a minimum of 3 places an error of the data can occur: physical counting of the data, writing down of the data collected, typing the data into ERP. Changing any process where these steps occur to automated RFID data collection will eliminate the possibility of human errors. Data can be collected directly and with 100% accuracy. The data generated from RFID system are huge. ERP increases the speed and accuracy with which these data can be useful to business decisions. Here we will discuss how Walmart is one of the world's leading users of RFID technology. The benefits gained includes lower inventories, higher productivity, greater agility, shorter lead times, higher profits, and greater customer loyalty. The company's strategy is to lower price every day, effectively use the logistics management, effective inventory control, trading power over suppliers, and the global expansion of new market opportunities. Walmart's major suppliers are Gillette, Johnson & Johnson, Kraft Foods, Nestle, and P&G. In June 2003, Walmart announced that it was requiring its top 100 suppliers to be able to apply RFID tags to cases and pallets by January 2005. Walmart planned to replace barcode technology with RFID technology. The company believed this replacement would reduce its supply chain management cost and enhance efficiency. Suppliers of Walmart tried to bulk the RFID edict. They saw an increase in their cost without any corresponding benefits. RFID tags are very costly comparing with barcodes. Furthermore, suppliers need to redesign their business processes. Benefits of RFID over barcodes include line of sight, human capital, read rate, read write capability, event triggering, durability and security, no duplicates readings, and more powerful sensors. So how does RFID works? Reader generates signals that are double purpose to provide power for a tag and create an interrogation signal. The tags then capture the energy from reader and executes commands sent by the reader. Tag sends back a signal containing a unique digital ID that consists of 96-bit serial number that can be locked up the database available to the reader to determine its identity, perhaps expressed as the name, manufacturer, stock keeping unit, number, and cost. By managing inventory with RFID, companies like Walmart can make shopping with a physical retailer more efficient. One way Walmart does this is by digitizing inventory information. With accurate stock information available online, customers can see what items are currently in stock at each store and can also order out of stock items. This figure illustrates how Walmart set up RFID readers at their loading docks to record what products are being sent and received. As the tagged products are unloaded from shipping trucks and products are moved past loading dock readers, these tags become active and began to send data about all products individually. At this point, if a product has been shipped to Walmart that they did not actually order, it can be identified and returned in a timely manner. Initially, Walmart used RFID to track its goods at different stages of the supply chain. This helps them to find and measure matrices to analyze how long does it take to make product available on the shelf once it has been purchased and stored in a warehouse. This also allowed them to see how quickly their inventory is moving physically. To make this more effective, Walmart collaborated with its suppliers and ensured that they adopt RFID too. By 2007, executives at Walmart were able to reduce their inventory levels and thereby improve the bottom line. Later in 2010, Walmart replaced the barcodes on garments with RFID. The fact that RFIDs can store more information than barcodes, which can be used for real-time analytics, promoted this decision. An additional advantage was that they can be scanned by distance and without a clear line of sight. This reduced the time to capture the information stored, and reduced lag in information helped the executives at Walmart make informed decisions quicker than before. A detailed explanation of the garment RFID process at Walmart is depicted in the diagram. It also highlights a few of the privacy concerns with the use of this technology and how Walmart has worked around them. The company has installed RFID readers at the receiving docks. Goods shipped at the stores with the RFID tags are recorded once at arrival. The tags are read again before they are brought to the sales floor. The tags are read finally at the box crusher after all items in the case have been put in the store shelves. The software monitors the items sold to the customers and the items brought to the sales floor. Walmart also offers grocery pickup system where customers can purchase goods online and then retrieve them from the store where they are ready. Some locations also offer grocery delivery. Without the use of RFID to track the quality and locations of in-store products, this grocery system would likely be costly and inefficient. This process is also known as the Walmart Groceries Curbside Pickup. The reason this system has been so successful is due to the fact that Walmart shares its information with every division of the supply chain. If products are being purchased, producers know and are prepared to increase production and vice versa, improving their customer service. In conclusion, RFID helps Walmart keep the right products on the shelves while maintaining an accurate inventory level and a smoothly operating supply chain. Due to the increase in online shopping, many stores fear to lose in-person business to online retailers. However, this problem can be potentially relieved with RFID technology. Here are some ways that RFID continues to develop operations for Walmart and other major retailers. Integrated RFID turns supply chain to supply network, where RFID provides 50% reduction in cycle time and inventory. These optimize supply chain operations, improving the loading quantity by eliminating the human errors and re-engineering and automating side business processes. So in summary, integrated RFID moves from product innovation to supply chain innovation. Managers should understand that SCM is an important component for the successful implementation of ERP systems. It does not matter whether SCM is an external or internal component of ERP if there is a seamless integration between the two applications. Balancing the supply chain efficiency and responsiveness is more an art than science. The competitiveness of products and services in the global economy is measured both by individual product and services characteristics and by the efficiency and responsiveness of the supply chain of products and services in catering to different customer requirements. In the face of shrinking product life cycle, differentiation and expansion of customer requirements, and cost transparency and accountability, there is constant focus on supply chain efficiency and responsiveness. For supply chain managers, this translates to a need for managing and monitoring the partnership in the supply chain with a strategic view to sense opportunities for improvement and growth. This also translates operationally to the need for balancing customer service requirements with the cost of operating the supply chain. SCM are complex systems whose success often depends on external environment. These systems need to be integrated or linked with the systems of a company, trading partners, suppliers, clients, and other external sources. The success of the system often depends more on standardized and agreed policy between trading partners rather than on sophisticated information technology. Management emphasis for IT departments should be on collaborative design rather than on a stand-alone design for SCM systems. E-supply chain provides great competitive advantage in today's web-enabled economy, where high-speed, low-cost communication and collaboration with customers and suppliers are critical success factors to managing the supply chain more effectively. The potential of e-supply chain for improved productivity, cost reduction, and customer service are huge. Of course, the benefits are based on effectively employing the right processes in supporting ID, providing the right amount of relevant information to those who need to know, and when they need to know it. In fact, the effective SCM from information point of view. One of the biggest cost saving is in overhead activity associated with a lot of paperwork and its inherent redundancies. The non-value added time of manual transaction processing can instead be forced on higher revenue creation activities without proportional increase in expenses. Supply chain processes are more streamlined and efficient today. For many companies, more effective ESCM is where the profit and competitive advantage will emerge and be sustained. For e-commerce to be successful, efficient fulfillment of orders and good customer service are extremely important. Integration is the key issue of successful supply chain, where integration must occur at multiple levels and not just at the network or hardware platform level. An important aspect of integration is sharing and access. For integration to be successful, organizations must become comfortable with the idea of sharing critical information with their partners, and they must be willing to provide proper access for sensitive data. Finally, and instead of just thinking about integrating ERP and supply chain management, managers need to think of enterprise application integration. Supply chain management are interorganizational systems that provide an efficient and flexible operational environment between the company and its external partners, suppliers, to saving millions of dollars in manufacturing and distribution costs. SCM provides a link of services, materials, and information across the value chain of the organization, where it plays a major role in logistics management, procurement, collaboration activities between different partners of the supply chain. There are four main drivers of supply chain management system performance. First, facilities from which the product or service is delivered. Inventory, which is the product or service that need to be distributed or procured with external partners. Transportation, which moves the product or service between 2 points of the supply chain. And information, which stores data and analysis of the other three drivers. Where information is the most powerful driver of supply chain management performance. Supply chain management involves the operation or management of many organization processes and procedures, including procurement, outsourcing, manufacturing, flow management, order fulfillment, customer service, and forecasting. The scope depends on the implementation of supply chain management in the organization, where it plays a major role in the success of e-business and e-commerce. Without a good supply chain management, an organization will not be able to build business-to-business partnership with its trading partners, work on e-procurement from suppliers, and have proper e-fulfillment of client orders. A strong supply chain management implementation is necessary for e-business, where a good supply chain management is designed in collaboration with the organization partners rather than standalone. Integration with supply chain management system is of many types, such as supply chain, ERP system, and enterprise application. There are 4 levels of integration. Integration has to occur at the information sharing level, at the design and planning level, at the workflow cooperation level, and at the new product development cycle. Enterprise application integration process is very complex and has a multi-phase life cycle. If done correctly, it can produce a consolidated, consistent, and coherent view of critical information from anywhere and at any time, with authorized access to different users in the organization, where it has a great long-term benefit to the organization, including improved efficiency and increased productivity at cost reductions. Thank you and see you next lecture.